skills that we would be looking for are some level of sort of commercial kind of understanding in some way. So that's kind of around, we're not expecting anyone to be an expert in, how a FTSE 350 kind of company operates or anything like that. But it's just around that you have some conception that you're going to be a business lawyer, and that you will have to have some level of understanding around what are the factors within the business world that are going to impact the work that you as a lawyer would be doing. So if there are particular interests that you have in, say, certain industries, what's happening in the world outside, particularly in the business world, is going to be impacting, for example, the general counsels, the chief executives, the finance directors, the whatever of the businesses that you might be interested in, what's going to be sort of keeping them awake at night in a way, and therefore how you're going to shape the service that you offer as a lawyer, shape the advice, shape kind of what you need to know about in order to help that client in the best way sort of possible. So some level of sort of commercial interest, commercial understanding, somebody who's got a very sort of collaborative outlook. There's very rare times where you're going to be working on your own as a lawyer, as a trainee. You're always going to be working in teams, so you have to be somebody who can relate to people, somebody who can work well with people, people who can show that they can grasp things quite quickly. I think we are in a world where people want advice very, very quickly. The businesses that we work with are under will be under some pressure at times, and you need to be able to sort of grasp what it is that you can do to help quite quickly. So people who can grasp concepts, themes, links, ideas well. Communication skills, in some ways sort of goes without saying. As a lawyer, kind of words are going to be your stock in trade in many ways, so you need to be able to use words well. So on an application form, for example, that's a good way to kind of show how well you can use words, being concise, brief, but also being able to actually explain something well. And it's that thing of explaining that complex subject matter, but being able to explain that in a way that somebody who doesn't have the sort of legal background, which some of your clients may not, can understand, so being able to explain something complex quite simply, and the communication skills that will revolve around being able to sort of do that. So converting kind of understanding of a complex matter into quite easy, simple advice that you might be giving to a client. So they'd just be some of the things that we would probably be looking for.
I think personality is a big one. We're all about people and culture, so I think it's hard to showcase that when you're in a written application, but I think as best as you can do that is great, because it's we want the same kind of people. And I think just competence-based skills, kind of like team working, drafting skills, which you'll be able to show further down the application line with your assessment centres, and the strength-based skills test that we just brought in.
Definitely a sort of can-do attitude. Because the teams, you work for all sorts of different people within your team. So I'm doing the corporate banking seat, but I don't just do work with my supervisor. I work for all sorts of different people in the team doing all manner of different specialisms. So it's definitely having that ability to just be like, yeah, I have capacity. I've not done this before, but I'm going to give it a go. Because they're very keen to support people when obviously you're doing things for the first time, but they expect you to be able to kind of be upbeat about it and be like, no, I'm going to give it a go. So definitely that, and with that comes the ability, I'd say, to be flexible, and to know, when to ask for help or when to bend a little bit and say, oh no, I'm going to prioritise this and that sort of thing. So definitely that.
I think it's really key to be someone that is proactive and really wants to get involved. I think everyone at AG is really a team player, so it's really nice to have people that join and want to get stuck in, and also want to really progress with things within each team. And another one I think that is quite specific to AG is kind of being imaginative and thinking outside the box and trying to look at other ways that we can do things and get creative with it.
So I think something they really want to know is that you have knowledge of the sectors that we work in. We're a sector specialised firm. We specialise in transport, energy, shipping, aviation. And they just want to know that you're not an expert, but you want to know that you have a curiosity about working in those tangible sectors and that you have a curiosity about where they're going.
So one of the key strengths that I would look for in a candidate is adaptability. I think as a trainee solicitor in particular, you're going to be moving teams every 6 months or so. So it's really important that you're going to be able to adapt to those different situations, different ways of working in different teams, and different people's different styles as well.